Hi guys, welcome back to Faith, Love, and Vision Loss. My name is Wendy and I am here to take you on a journey with me through everything that I've been going through since I lost my vision in December of 2019. So today I want to touch on a subject that's very important, that is very new to me as well. Well, it's not new to me per se, but it's new to the training that I've been going through. I want to talk about mobility and the importance of mobility and why we have to take mobility in orientation classes and why they are so important to people who are visually impaired. I'm going to tell you that in the last 19 months since I lost my vision, um, my mobility has decreased because of lack of training, lack of knowledge, meaning that I was unsure of myself when going out in public, walking around, just doing things that I used to do before I lost my vision that I truly took for granted. Um, these days, it's not so easy for me to get up and go and do anything. I mean, I know that everything has to be done right now with a lot of care, especially because we are still in a state of pandemic. There's still COVID out there, so we all have to be careful. But even if there wasn't COVID, okay, let's say that we were back to the way things were 2 years ago, when everything was quote unquote normal. I wouldn't be able to just get up, grab my shoes and walk out the door and go to a restaurant, have lunch with a friend, have coffee with a friend. I can't just go to the store. I can't do a lot of things because I need assistance. And so once you start your orientation and mobility training, this is a huge help for you to gain a sense of independence for yourself once again. I know that my 2 videos ago I did a video about if a white cane stamped you as disabled or gave you a sense of independence, and I can tell you wholeheartedly that it's a little bit of both. So the reason why I say that it stamps you as disabled is because if you don't go out that much and you hadn't gone out as a blind person, and those of you who are visually impaired understand what I mean when I say that, the first time you hear someone else refer to you as blind, indirectly, it's really like hard on you because you're realizing, oh my goodness, I'm blind. And it's not that, a lot of times, maybe some of you are, because I know a lot of people who are visually impaired do go through a sense of denial. They go through a stage of denial. It's just hard to hear from somebody else's lips, from somebody else's voice when they say, oh, be careful, they're blind. So yes, a white cane does stamp you as disabled. It does stamp you as blind. But at the same time, it helps give you a sense of independence. And I'm going to tell you why. White cane, again, looks like this. It's held together with a bungee cord so that it's not in the way all the time and that you can put it away. It folds up like this so that you can put it away in a backpack, in a purse, in a holster. Whatever it is that you choose to carry your cane with, that's what you're going to put it in. It has these little like magnetic things in between the hinges here. And it has like a plastic, actually this is a rubber top. And then the end right here, this is what they call a marshmallow tip. And what it does is when you're walking and you're supposed to hold it like this with your pointer finger pointing down, and you arc it from side to side, and you guys can't see it, but you arc it from side to side on the ground so that you can get a feel for what is ahead of you. So this is the reason why this cane is so long, because you have to be able to hold it in front of you so that you can feel for whatever is coming, whether it's a crack in the sidewalk, a dip in the parking lot, whether you have a blended curb or a normal curb or a truncated curb, or whatever it is you need to cross the street, or to cross, let's say, from your own parking lot at your apartment complex to the other side. If whatever you need to use it for, that's what it's for. You use it when you walk on the sidewalk, you use it when you're in the store, you use it wherever. It helps you so that you're able to walk independently without having to depend on somebody else to guide you. Now, yes, you may still have to ask people for a little bit of guidance so that they can send you in the right direction in case you need that. But this overall will help you so that you can get on the bus, get on the trolley, just be able to do things more on your own. A white cane is very different from a stability cane. I also have a stability cane. This is a stability cane. A lot of you guys have probably seen these. Grandparents, your parents, maybe someone who's had surgery on their knees, surgery on their legs, someone who needs assistance with the stability cane to be used to give you strength. A stability cane is very different from a white cane. A white cane is used for guidance. A stability cane is used for stability. It helps you keep your balance. The reason why I use it is because aside from everything else, I have neuropathy in my legs and my feet, caused also by the diabetes. And so sometimes I lose my balance. I lose the feeling in my feet. I lose control over my limbs, and that stability cane helps me so that I don't fall. Before I lost my vision, I used to fall all the time. I suffer from pain in my knees sometimes because in my left leg, because whenever I fell, that's the leg that I used to land on. I had some pretty gnarly falls. I fell down the stairs once at our old apartment complex. That's the first time I realized that I had problems with neuropathy. I went sliding down the stairs. And that day, I felt like my legs would turn into jelly and my knees would give out, and I would just kind of noodle to the floor. I don't know how else to explain it. And that day, I fell down the stairs, and then I fell in the parking lot twice trying to get to my dad, who was there to pick me up to take me to the doctor. I fell down twice in the parking lot while I was walking to the car. Another time, right before we moved into the place where we live now, I fell down the stairs again, and this time I tumbled. So when I went rolling down the stairs, I felt my body rolling, and I felt my head hit the railings, the wooden railings that we had at that apartment complex. The back of my head hit that a couple of times. And that time I also hurt my knee. I fell a couple of times when I used to work downtown. One time I went to lunch in Little Italy, and I was walking up a hill. The hill had a tree that was growing in the middle of the sidewalk, and the sidewalk was lifted, and I was trying to get back to work, and I tripped over. I felt my body bounce up, bounce down, hit the ground on my knee, landed on my knee. And I was wearing sunglasses, and because of those sunglasses, I was able to protect my eyes that time from getting hurt seriously, because I landed face first, but on my knee, face first on the ground. And I think the worst fall that I've had, I remember I went to an interview with David's Bridal. This was in June of 2018. And I got off the trolley at Santa Fe Station downtown, and I thought that I was walking on flat ground, and I wasn't. I actually I stepped into the air, and I walked on the air for several seconds until my body realized that there was no sidewalk. I fell down, and I landed with my knees on the trolley tracks. And this was me being fully sighted. This was not me suffering from any vision loss. I didn't realize I had problems with my vision at that point in time. Did I have them at that point in time? Yeah, probably, but I didn't realize them, because a lot of times, especially when you're diabetic, you don't realize that you have problems with your eyes until it's too late if you don't see your eye doctor regularly. And that day I really messed up my knees and my toes, and somehow I still managed to meet my friend for lunch even after I fell down. I went to Horton Plaza to get all this stuff at CVS to clean myself up, and I got up and I took the bus home, and I made it all the way home. I don't know how I did it, but I was pretty badly hurt. And for those of you who don't know, on our new building, I live on the 3rd floor. And by the grace of God, since I've lost my vision, I have not had any issues with the stairs. I haven't had any issues in the parking lot. I haven't had to deal with any of that. So I'm very grateful. But it's also because I've had my stability cane, getting back to the point of my video, to help me so that I don't lose my balance and have the falls that I used to have on a pretty regular basis. The other reason why I want to talk about mobility today is I know that most of you who currently watch my videos, I know that I don't have a very large audience at this time, and that's okay. But I know that most of you drive. And I know that most of you, when you're driving, you guys make right-hand turns. And I'm going to tell you guys something. One of the reasons why I am so hesitant to do certain things in my mobility training is because of what I used to see when I used to cross the street when I had my vision. And one thing that I want to bring to everyone's attention is the fact that people still walk, people still cross the street walking on their 2 legs. People still depend on you to give them the right of way when it's their turn to let them cross the street. And one thing that I've noticed when people are wanting to make a right-hand turn is that they don't pay attention to what is on their right-hand side. Yes, they're looking to the left to make sure that no other cars are coming, but they're not looking to the right to see if someone is waiting to cross the street. Whether it's because they're just not paying attention, they don't care, they're looking at their radio, they're looking at their cell phone, they're reading their GPS, they're talking on the phone through their Bluetooth, whatever the case may be. And if I start to get angry right now, this is because it makes me very angry. You guys don't pay attention. People don't pay attention. People don't pay attention and look for this cane. People don't pay attention and look for this cane. You're not paying attention to anything except whatever you're doing in your car. And that makes me really scared to continue trying to get training to learn how to be more independent as a pedestrian, because I'm scared. Because I'm scared that someone is going to run me over with their car because they're not paying attention. Guys, you need to pay attention to what's happening on the sidewalk to the right of you when you're turning. If that light turns green and somebody is waiting to cross the street, let them cross the street. Don't try to go fast because you're in a hurry. You could end up killing someone. You could end up hurting someone. Someone like me. Someone who can't see. Someone who can't see you coming. You have to pay attention to the people who are trying to cross the street. All they're trying to do is get from point A to point B just like you. It's very important that you pay attention, because what if that person crossing the street was me? What if it was your mom or your grandmother or somebody that you care about very deeply that has trouble with vision and doesn't see you coming? You have to be aware of your surroundings. Yes, I, as a blind person, have to be very aware of my surroundings. I have to use my other senses to help me get around. If you guys could understand the things that I hear now, you wouldn't believe it because my hearing is that much better. A lot of blind people say, oh no, my other senses didn't kick in. And you know what? It's different for everyone. But for me, my hearing is great. But my hearing is not going to keep me from getting run over or hit by a car because that person was not paying attention to me trying to cross the street. This is something that I'm very passionate about and something that makes me very angry because I've seen people when I was able to see just keep going and not care that I was waiting to cross the street. And yes, I can keep waiting for, for the light to change again and for the light to change again, but then I would be waiting for the whole day. Other people are going to stand there waiting because they're scared. So please be more aware of your surroundings. Be aware of disabled people, especially people who are blind, who are just trying to cross the street. With that being said, sorry guys, I feel that I have to advocate for myself because a lot of people don't care. A lot of people just, I understand that a lot of us are in our own world, especially being in a state of, pandemic. We've all been in our bubbles. We've all been with our own little circle of friends, with the family that we have closest to us. Whatever the case may be, you have to think about other people. It's easy to be selfish. It's easy to be like, oh, just do you. Just take care of you. No, you have to be aware of other people. Other people share this world with you. Other people share this planet with you. You don't all have the same beliefs. You don't all have the same priorities. You don't all have the same purpose in life. But just be aware that you have to share this space with others. And you shouldn't always be so selfish and only think of yourself when you're out there in the world. You have to think about other people. Even when I go to church, sometimes people are in a hurry and they're, trying to scoot and move out of the way. The place where I saw the worst, like, manners when it comes to people that have disabilities walking around was at the doctor's office, at the clinic. My husband and I were trying to walk to my doctor's appointment the day after my surgery. I had the patch on my eye and people were just not caring. I was walking with my cane and they were just walking straight and they waited for us to move out of their way. So to me, it's just really disheartening that people are so inconsiderate of others. It could be your mom, like I said, it could be your grandma, it could be your dad, it could be your uncle, it could be your cousin, your sister, your brother, your kid. Be more considerate of others and put yourself in their shoes and put yourself in their situation. I'm not telling you, oh, you have to feel sorry. No. There is a very big difference between feeling sorry for someone and having compassion for someone and having empathy for people. And you have to try to be aware of your surroundings so that you don't come off as a person who is selfish and who doesn't care about others. We all have to care about others. That is what Jesus wants us to do. He wants us to care about others. He wants us to care about others. I mean, the 10 Commandments say, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So treat others the way that you want to be treated. Don't treat people badly. Treat them with kindness. Treat them with compassion. And always just try to be as considerate as you can. I know it's not always easy because I know that other people are not always very kind. But again, we have to try to be kind to other people. There are situations where, anger takes over. Anger completely takes over and you don't think logically and you react with anger. I went through that recently. And I had to immerse myself in prayer and try to calm myself down so that I could get myself out of that state of mind. And you have to forgive in your heart. If you're not given the opportunity to forgive in person, then forgive in your heart. Let it go. Let it go so that it doesn't consume you. Because that is what the enemy wants you to do. Enemy wants you to be consumed by hate, by anger, by judgment. And that is not what we should be doing. We should be forgiving people, loving people, and trying to understand where other people are coming from. I know that in my faith, we're taught to forgive. It says it in a prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. This means that we forgive because we are also forgiven, because the Father forgives us. So we should be able to forgive others when they do things to us. It's not always easy. Sometimes we hold on to things for years and years and we let it consume us. But we have to try really hard to forgive and to find the reasons why, there's good things about people. Like, it could be like somebody's ex-husband, and the father of their kids, and you have to be grateful to that person, because without that person, those kids wouldn't exist. You have to put yourself in different situations. Sometimes we hold grudges against people from when we were kids. I know that, I recently figured something out that happened to me when I was a child. And for a little while, I let it consume me. And then I told myself, you know what, Wendy? That happened when you were a little girl, when you were living in Mexico. Yes, I lived in Mexico when I was a really little girl. And that's not who you are anymore. That's not who these people are anymore. Let it go. And so I let go of a really traumatic childhood memory that I had only discussed with my mom. And after my mom passed away, I had to tell myself, you know what, just let go of it. It's not worth holding on to. And it helped me release a lot of anxiety that I was holding on to in my mind and in my heart. Another thing that I've been doing over the course of the past week is I've been looking into, the different saints. As you guys know, I'm Catholic, and so we look to saints for intercession when we are going through certain things. And I was wondering, is there a saint, a patron saint for forgiveness? And I came across the story of Saint Maria Goretti, who became a martyr when she was 11 years old. She was stabbed 14 times by a young man who was her neighbor, who tried to rape her, and then he stabbed her. And on her deathbed, she forgave him. And so in my mind, I thought, well, she showed that we are given the ability to forgive. We are able to forgive very, very serious, very severe things that happen. And even something like that, you have to be able to forgive the other person. And it's not always easy. But you pray for strength. You put it in the hands of the Lord, and He gives you the strength to overcome these things. So this is something that I've been going through for the past few weeks. It was more in my face over the course of the past few days. But I know that I have a lot of forgiving that is left to do. And that's something that I'm going to work on, and I will keep you guys updated on the progress that I'm making as my videos progress. Also, next weekend, big thing happening for me. We are going to take a road trip for the first time since October of 2019. The last time I took a road trip was to Las Vegas, and it was the weekend of Ella's 5th birthday. Um, and I remember this very clearly because it's the last birthday party that I attended before everything kind of happened. And so we're taking a road trip to Vegas to take Ella home. Ella's been here for the past 6 weeks, but for the past week and a half, Arturo and I have been taking care of her, and I think we've been doing a pretty good job. If I'm getting teary-eyed right now, it's because she's been keeping me in a better mood than I'm usually in. She makes me laugh. Sometimes she makes me mad, but you know what? That's just something that I need to work on in my own personality with the way that I was raised and things I was taught. Those of you who know my family know me. Yeah, I have a bad temper. I'm not gonna lie. And that's something that I'm really working on as well. So she helps me with a lot of those things, but she just brought so much laughter into our home. And she says that she didn't want to be in the video today, but she just said she wanted to come out at the end. So she's gonna come out here in just a minute. This is the last video that I will be making with Ella, because on Friday we are taking her back to Las Vegas, and so I'll be back to spending my days on my own while my husband goes out and busts his butt trying to make a living for us. But I've just been really happy to have her here, and so here she is. I can hear her. Hi, Princess.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good.
Good. Are you wearing a pretty dress?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Why are you wearing a pretty dress today?
Because I went out somewhere.
Where did you go?
To the beach and a fancy restaurant.
You went to a fancy restaurant. With who?
Titi Alma.
Titi Alma. For those of you who don't know, Titi Alma is my tia Alma. She's also my godmother. And she took Ella today to the Corvette Diner, and then they all went to the beach. And what did you have at the beach? What kind of snacks did you have?
We didn't have anything.
I thought you had cotton candy.
I had cotton candy, but it was in the restaurant.
Oh, I misunderstood. Okay. And where else did you go today?
I went nowhere after that.
Before that? Did you go somewhere? Today? No. Where did Nino and I take you today?
I forgot.
You forgot where we go on Sunday?
Church.
We went to church. Yeah. Were you being silly at church today?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you were tickling me at church today. But what did you learn at church today?
I learned.
What were you asking me about during church?
Did Jesus get nailed to the cross?
Yes. And what did you find out?
You didn't answer.
I didn't answer you. Okay, well, I can tell you now. Yes. Jesus did get nailed to the cross. He did. Okay. And what else did you learn today? That Nino can't stay awake during church.
Yeah.
And Ella, I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
Have a seat. Stop covering my face. How have you enjoyed your vacation here so far?
Good.
Good.
And I never want to leave.
You never want to leave. Well, I never want you to leave either, but guess what? You're going to go home on Friday. And
Yes.
Nina's going to go on her first road trip.
Yes, I am going back to Las Vegas next Friday because I gotta start school.
Yes. So she's going back. And what grade are you starting again? First grade. And what's your teacher's name?
I forgot. Miss Portillo.
Oh, well, that's very exciting, Ella. And do you have any words of advice for the people watching our videos today?
Always be a good person.
Always be a good person. I think that's a very good word of advice. And what else do you think you should tell
And
people?
also watch if there's a blind person crossing the road.
Yes, watch if there's blind people crossing the road. That's very good advice. And
I heard you talking about that.
I know you did. And do you have any advice for Nino?
Never let a dog go.
Well,
Okay, I'm
there
showing
have-
you because this is the last one that you get to show. Please.
This is my.
This-
Ow.
Come here.
Hi.
Say hi. I'm her Nino.
I am the Nino.
Okay, is that enough? Is that good enough?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching our videos. And Ella will be back in December for Christmas, and we'll be able to get an update on how first grade is going and whether or not she got baptized. Oh, man.
No, I did not.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, I'm covering your face.
Okay. Say, alright, guys. Thank you. God bless you.
Alright, guys. Thank you. God bless you.
Bye.